Hello, people of the world, and welcome back to Mallardcraft. I am the Dirty Ducky, and last episode we set out on a little adventure to do some mining, but we got sidetracked, and we never actually made it down here. As you probably saw from the time lapse, I've done a little bit of mining off camera, and we did a little bit of caving too. Down this tunnel, we came across a little cave, and I've got a couple more clips to roll of the actual mining that we've done. But first of all, let's talk about the actual strategy that we're using here. This one wide, two tall, it's just big enough for you to walk down. And when you do it like this, you're exposing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks around you. For every 2 blocks you mine, you expose 6 more. So it's, I don't want to say it's the most efficient, but it's my favorite way to mine. And then each one of your tunnels will be 2 blocks apart. So, because this tunnel exposes these blocks, and then this tunnel exposes these blocks. So between these 2 tunnels, every 4 blocks you mine exposes 12 blocks. It works most of the time. So basically, you're just gonna keep digging in a straight line, and when you come across ores or anything else, then you can kind of veer off, and you can just keep digging for as long as you feel like digging. And then when you get tired of going one way, you turn around and skip 2 blocks over and dig another tunnel going back. Or you can pick a different direction altogether, like we've done here. Well, as far as actually finding diamonds, we're not having any luck at all, but look at this. We found yet another spawner. This one's another zombie spawner. And golden horse armor, cool. Another music disc, another saddle. Ooh, feather falling, not bad. Now, when you do finally come across diamonds, one thing that you always want to make sure that you do is dig around them. This means all the way around. You want to expose all the diamonds. And it's just to make sure that there's not lava underneath them, because if you mine them out and there's not lava underneath, you're going to lose them. They're going to fall in the lava and be destroyed. Speaking of lava, let's take a second to talk about collecting obsidian. First of all, when you want to collect obsidian, you're going to need a diamond pickaxe. It's the only thing, diamond or netherite, but it has to be at least diamond in order to collect the obsidian. Now, you can find obsidian sometimes just in the caves and stuff, but the quickest and easiest way to get a hold of it is just simply bucket of water. If water of any kind meets a source block of lava, it becomes obsidian. The safest way to collect it, however, again, bucket of water. Put your bucket of water down, start collecting your obsidian. If you break this obsidian block and there's lava underneath of it, the obsidian block's going to fall in the lava and become destroyed. However, if you leave the bucket of water here, when you break the obsidian block, if there's lava underneath, it just becomes more obsidian. And yes, obsidian takes forever to break. But we're going to need at least 14 pieces of obsidian. We'll probably go ahead and get a little bit more than that. So you need a minimum of 10 pieces of obsidian to make a nether portal. And then you need 4 pieces of obsidian to make the enchanting table. So minimum 14. Now, a lot of people, and we'll talk about the nether portal when we get to that point, but a lot of people think that you absolutely have to put the corners on the portal. Personally, I think they look better without the corners, and that's just more obsidian that you have to collect if you're going to use the corners. But again, we'll cover that in a little bit more detail later on. For now, I'm going to sit here and mine obsidian. All right, so now after 2 hours down here, let's see what we've actually got. It's not terrible. We've got a lot of iron and a lot of redstone, but 11 diamonds. That's it. I've definitely had better mining expeditions. But for now, I think we're going to call it good on the mining, and we're going to take this and we're going to go do something with it. We're also going to put some of this to use too. Hopefully 2 stacks will be enough. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to take some of these planks. We're going to make a whole bunch of treasure chests out of them. And then we're going to make, 8. 8 sounds like a good number. 8 furnaces. And then that will make 8 hoppers. Actually, we're going to need a lot more than that. A lot more than that. I think the biggest question right now is, where are we going to build this? So I've cleared a space over here beside the house, and I think this is where we're going to start building. But let's discuss for a second what exactly it is that we're getting ready to build. So I want a super smelter. Now, what is a super smelter? Pretty simple. It's actually pretty self-explanatory, but we'll look at it a little deeper. See, if you take a furnace and you put hoppers on it like so, this top hopper will be your input. That's where you put, say, iron ore or cobblestone or whatever it is that you want to smelt. This back hopper is your fuel, and the bottom hopper is your output. It'll feed into a chest. So say we take some of this cobblestone here and drop it in this top hopper, you'll see it ends up in that spot. And then if we put a piece of coal in this back hopper, you'll see it ends up in there. It starts smelting, and after a few seconds we'll get output, regular stone. So now this is an auto smelter. You put a chest here, chest there, and then all you have to do is drop items in the 2 chests and you get output. A super smelter is a whole string of these. So that's what we're going to build. So we're actually going to go ahead and build up the super smelter itself because I want to smelt up some stone to use for the building part of it. So let's do that real quick. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the whole thing down 1 block in the ground for the purposes of what the building is going to look like when it's done. But I'm going to start out by placing this chest, and then I'm going to put a hopper on either side pointed into the chest. And then we're going to do 3 more hoppers on either side. Now, if you aren't really sure how to do this, hold shift and place the hopper. Otherwise, you're just going to access the hopper's inventory. But if you place the hopper on the back of the hopper in front of it, then it will point into that hopper. If you just put it on the ground, then it's going to point down. And that's not what we want. We want them to flow into this chest. So if you've done it right, if you throw an item, this is why I don't play basketball. If you throw an item into the hopper, it'll appear in the chest. And you should be able to do that with any of these hoppers. Next, we're going to go ahead and put the 8 furnaces on top. Just like that. And then we'll put 8 more hoppers pointed in the back. Finally, we're going to put, currently 7, I gotta go make 1 more, hoppers on top. From here, I'm going to go ahead and start working on building out the floor, and I'm just using stone variants, slabs, and andesite to try to create some texture here. Because then the next thing that we're going to do is start working on the minecart delivery system. And trust me, this is where this project gets expensive. What we've done here is ran 2 separate rail lines from this corner around across the top of all the hoppers with a lever here on the end that's powered on that keeps all of these rails powered. And then there's another powered rail underneath this track with a lever here, and after you put stuff in here, you flip this lever and it'll, as long as the lever's on, it'll continue to bounce back and forth. We did basically the same thing here on the top, except obviously this one needs this little slope here to bounce up. And you want there to be 2 blocks after the hoppers. Or I do, at least anyway, because my OCD wants there to be 1 item in each hopper. And if you in this line too close, then this hopper will get double dropped whenever it bounces back, and it bugs me. So I do it this way so that everything stays even. So let's go get some fuel. So what we're gonna do is put the fuel on this side and pull the lever. We're gonna put a couple of stacks of cobblestone on this side and pull the lever, and ta-da! What's happening here? Be careful not to let any items fall into these hoppers, because that's what was going on here. Is there was a rail in this top slot, and you can't smelt rails, but they will go into the top slot, so it was keeping that furnace from working. But now you'll see, yeah, that's what a super smelter does. Sleep time. By the way, one good reason to keep all the saplings that you get a hold of, not this chest, this chest. I'm gonna get these backwards forever. Right here. There's still coal in these right now, but you'll see here in just a few minutes that you can use saplings as fuel in your furnaces. They're not as good as coal by any means, but they work. Now, while we've got some regular stone smelting up, we're gonna take a few minutes to actually try to make this build look good. I like using the actual wall blocks in builds, because you get this layer of depth here like this, but then also in some builds you get this odd extra layer every now and then because of how the walls connect to the blocks behind them, and I just think it's interesting. You get extra texture without actually trying. It's pretty cool. I love when you get caught up decorating a build and completely forget to preserve the functionality. Anybody see a problem here? In my defense, I did build this in creative, and I'm trying to copy it over, and I'm not very good at block for block copying anything, even my own builds. So yeah, I got messed up. It happens. So there we go. That's the finished build. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty proud of this. I like it. Might come back through and do some texturing on the roof here, but for the most part, I think it looks good. Okay, I can see some things that I might change, but for now, I like it. I want to take a second to give a shout out to AJ for being such a loyal fan. and to say thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos and helping to support this YouTube adventure that I'm on. But now I have a question for you guys. What should I build next? Are there any contraptions that you guys would like to see explained? Let me know in the comments. And feel free to just ask questions if you need to. Let me know if I need to get more detailed with my explanations. But for now, I think this is where we're going to call the episode, as the sun sets on this day in Minecraft. Sleepy time, sleepy time, sleepy time, sleepy time. I hope you guys are enjoying watching these episodes as much as I'm enjoying making them. If you are, hit that like button, and if you're not already, consider subscribing. It's worth it. I think in the next episode we might look at a different way to get diamond gear, being as we're not having much luck in mining. So make sure you hit the bell icon so you get notified when the next episode comes out. But until next time, I am the Dirty Ducky, and I'm out.